So welcome to this video where we're going to look at multiplying using the grid method. Right, let's first of all look at our success criteria. Our first success criteria is we need to partition the two-digit number in our number sentence. We then need to draw out our grid and write everything in place. We then need to multiply our tens by the single digit, and then we need to multiply the unit we got when we partitioned by the single digit. We then need to add those two numbers together. Okay, let's have a look about how to do that. So let's start off by doing 15 times 3. So my first step is to partition. So that would be 10 and that would be 5. The next step is to draw out your grid and write everything in place. So I draw out my grid. I first of all write in the multiplication sign. I'm then going to write in the 10. I'm then going to write in my 3 here and the 5 here, and I've written everything in, so I've done that step. Right, now we can start to actually multiply, and we're going to do our tens by the single digit. So we're going to do 10 times 3, and I know that 10 times 3 is 30. We're then going to multiply the 3 by the 5, and I know that that is 15. So I've ended up with 30 and I've ended up with 15. I now need to do my final step, which is to add those two together. So I'm going to go 5 plus 0 is 5, 30 plus 10 is 40, add the 5 is 45. And I've got my answer. Okay, now let's have a look at a slightly more trickier question using grid method. So we're going to look at 23 times 4. This is slightly tricky, you'll see in a minute. First of all, we still need to partition, so that would be 20 and 3. We then need to draw out our grid as we did before and write everything in, so that would be writing your multiplication, the 4 goes here, the 20 goes here, and the 3 goes here. Right, we're at the stage where we're starting to multiply now. So now we've got to do 20 times 4. Now this is a little bit trickier, and I suggest you use a quite simple method called factorising. So I'm going to do 4 times the 2 of the 20, which would be 8, and then I'm going to times that by 10, and that would give me 80. So let me just say that again. I did 4 times 2, and that gave me 8, and then with the 10 that I had left over, I then multiply that answer. 8 times 10, that gives me 80. Okay, so it isn't too tricky. Right, I'm now going to do the 4 times the 3, and I know that that equals 12. And I'm on this last step again where I need to add everything together. So I know that 2 plus 0 is 2, and then 8t plus 10 would be 90, plus the 2 would be 92, and I've got my answer. So don't remember, once you go above the teens, you have to do a little bit of factorising, but it's not too difficult. Okay, please have a go, leave your comments on the blog, and let me know how you got on and if you need any more help.